Hello, everybody. All right. Already.
You can't go back, Chris.
No.
This is how it starts. Months later, and wow,
I mean, we haven't even done this since like March, and I already fucked it up.
Well, welcome everybody to the Three Idiots in a Room podcast. I am your host, Nicholas Vandevoort, and with me today I have my good friend, companion. Yep.
Oh, hello, my name is Chris Jahnke as usual, and today I'm on my lunch break while I'm doing this.
Oh.
So
how long do you get for a lunch break?
Well, I'm off today, so.
Okay. So the whole day is your lunch break then. That's,
basically.
Yeah, that's a really nice break. Yeah. Lengthy. Leaves a lot to do.
Yes, a lot to do. So we haven't talked in months, like since March, like I said. So
yeah,
we have a lot to catch up on, and I think I'll let you go first because mine is kind of boring, and I know that you've been working for a pretty cool place, so I'll let you go first.
Yeah. So to recap, in January, and I know I mentioned this in previous episodes, but I started working at a news station over here in Fargo, WDAY ABC News. I started out as a production assistant, but lately, over the past few months, I've been getting promoted into different positions. I am now a broadcast director, and I also am going to help run graphics during our live broadcasts of sports games for our city's university. So I'll be traveling a good bit on weekends for the next 3 months.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I am honestly shocked at how much has changed just with that job over the past, however many months. It's kind of insane. But anyways, on top of that, I've also been working with a few friends since the start of the summer on a graphic novel.
Ooh, that's interesting.
We came up with the idea last year while we were all biking together, but we didn't get too far in the development process. But then when summer came around this year, we were like, okay, we need to sit down and actually hash this out. Need to have it done by May, because otherwise we're gonna all be moving away and it won't happen. So I've set up a timer for us to keep track of how we're doing.
Right.
I think right now we're somewhere 262 days left. But we've already got concept art for most of the characters. We got our first volume planned out, and we've started scripting it for the past week or so.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, for just one summer's worth of work, we're moving really fast, a lot faster than I thought we would. So
awesome.
Yeah. Anything else that has been up with me? I don't know. I think that's the big stuff that I like to boast about. I'll think of something else later, I'm sure, but you can go.
Okay. Well, since the last time we talked, I did graduate, so that's very exciting.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. And actually, the graduation ceremony was kind of a big clusterfuck.
Ah.
Because,
how did that go?
Well, it started out like any normal day, except that at the end of May, it's in the 20s and 30s.
Like temperature-wise?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's freezing rain all day, and they wanted to have it outside.
Yeah, I don't know how how you make that one work, but go off.
So yeah, they were like basically arguing back and forth between like all the school heads all day that day whether to have it inside or outside, because if they had it inside they could only have like one member of the family.
Oh, okay.
Because fucking COVID restrictions. And then if they had it outside they could have 4 members of the family, but it would be fucking cold. So that's kind of what they were going on all day, and they finally decided, well, we're having it outside.
And everyone died.
The end.
Yeah. Good graduation. You know, I'm glad that you found your way back to life after such a horrid event.
I mean, I'm not even alive. I'm just a ghost right now.
Oh, shit.
We all died from the hypothermia. This is just the afterlife.
Well, hot damn. How are you living in the afterlife?
You know, it's not too bad. They got free HBO. They got a Subway on like every corner, not unlike the real world. So
Okay.
that's pretty nice. Otherwise, you know, I kind of miss like actually having food travel into my stomach instead of just like falling out of my mouth. Otherwise, it's pretty nice.
I feel like that'd be really weird. You go in to eat your sandwich and it just falls out of your lower jaw. I don't like that feeling.
Don't even get to chew it, just drops down to the floor.
Yeah. Do you even get to hold it to begin with? Or does it just, like, phase through your hands and you, like, have to try biting the table?
It works on, like, Casper the Friendly Ghost logic, where you can pick stuff up, but it doesn't, like, pass through you. So It's really weird.
I didn't know Casper the Ghost was, actually canon to real life. Interesting development. That wouldn't have been my pick, but okay.
But anyway, yeah, graduation was good despite the cold. Our graduating class this year was like 480 people.
Sheesh.
So yeah, it took a long time. We were there for like 3 hours, and we were supposed to start at 7, but we ended up starting at like 7:30 because they just couldn't get their shit together out there.
Yeah, ours started late too. I remember.
I think I remember that too because I was in the choir.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to perform for that too, and that was a long night. But yeah, I do remember it going pretty well for you guys.
Yeah, it went smoother than I thought it would, for sure. My biggest complaint was that it was too stuffy in that building.
Oh yeah, the
Zorn. You had the exact opposite problem, so I don't know how much I can really complain. At least it was the temperature it was supposed to be in May, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's like that year that we had the snowstorm in May. Do you remember that?
Yeah, fucking, what was up with that? Like,
I don't know, it just came out of nowhere. I remember my aunt, who's a teacher, she sent us like a message saying that school was closed for a snowstorm, and we're like, what? And she's like, yeah, a huge snowstorm just came, no one could get out of their garage. And then about an hour later, we were covered.
Yeah, sheesh. Came out of nowhere, took everyone by surprise.
Yeah, that was a crazy day.
Anyway.
Yes, anyway. So right after graduation, I went to California for 12 days.
That's right. How was that?
It was pretty fun, actually. It was definitely interesting. Like, I was not expecting a lot of the stuff I saw out there. Like, in terms of how COVID sort of ruined everything.
Yeah.
Because we went to Hollywood first, and my God, it was kind of a disaster area.
Huh.
Like, you know how you always see Hollywood in the movies looking like so glitz and glamour and all that?
Yeah.
It was not like that at all. It was like no one was taking care of the stars on the Walk of Fame. No one was like watching the shops. It was all just gross and grimy. There was like weed shops every 5 steps, you know, and then just like vendors, panhandlers, stuff like that, trying to scam you out of money. So
Just a bunch of shit.
yeah. So that was Hollywood. The Hollywood sign was pretty cool. We did
Yeah,
do
the sign. Yeah,
yeah.
but I know everything else about it is pretty bad.
Yeah. And then we stayed at Venice Beach in this youth hostel. Have you ever stayed in one of those?
No, but I know what they are like.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know, I just can't really get behind sleeping in, basically one room with 50 other strangers around you.
Yeah.
So,
A bit much for me too.
yeah. And, like, there was one day, this guy was trying to get into the shower, and, like, the girl had only been in there a minute, and he was, like, banging on the door, just yelling, like, "It's not a telephone booth in there."
Fucking let a girl poop? Like,
Exactly. So, just weird people around there. But, Venice Beach was actually pretty nice. The ocean was very nice down there. So, that was nice.
nice.
And then we went up to Sacramento after that for a few days. That was pretty interesting.
The state capital, right?
Yeah. We actually went and saw the state capitol. It was pretty nice. So yeah, we went up there, and then we went to Old Sac, which is like the market village kind of thing.
Sure.
And they had a pretty cool train museum, and they had some pretty cool shops there. So that was pretty fun to go to. And then our last day in Sacramento, we went river rafting. And funny story about that, I accidentally tipped over our raft where all the food was on, and it was open. So they banished me to my own raft. And when I went into the water, it was like a really cheap sunblock, so it all washed off.
Damn.
And, I couldn't put it on myself. I tried to, but I ended up getting such a bad sunburn. Like, one of the worst I've ever had. So,
Should have had sunscreen, man. Don't know what else to tell you. Should have just stopped the skin cancer right in its tracks.
Should have just told it no.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, you could have just asked the sun to not shine on you so brightly.
I know. Honestly, I should sue him because I didn't consent to that.
Yeah, take the sun to court.
Yes.
I think that you have a case here. I think that you could win.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to contact a lawyer.
All right, yeah. See what their legal advice is first, because we could be wrong. But
yeah,
I personally feel very strong in my conviction.
If this goes
that
down,
the sun has gotten away with too much shit.
It has.
All right, we need to send a message.
I mean, global warming is fucking crazy. We gotta stop that.
Like, God, we're doing our best over here, but then that goddamn sun keeps pounding its heat on us, wearing down our atmosphere more and more, bringing us closer to the brink of extinction, and quite honestly, I do not appreciate this for a single bit.
Me neither. We gotta do something about it.
Yeah. Alright, guys, we're gonna cancel the sun on Twitter. Let's get trending.
Hashtags cancel the sun. Start spreading it around, folks. It's happening.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, after the sun so rudely burned me, we went to San Francisco for the last few days. And that was pretty fun. I like San Francisco a lot. It's very nice and cool there. So it's a very...
I went to...
Go ahead.
I went to San Fran as well. It's fell off my fucking bed. Almost twisted my hand. That hurts a bit. Okay, ooh. San Francisco. I've been there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, go again. Ow. Yeah. My hand's fine. You can go.
Sorry, I was chewing.
Ah, I see. Taking the time for your lunch break.
Yes, while you're in
your
such
all-day
pain.
lunch break. I'm glad that you trust in my ability to heal so well. And you just sit there eating and listening as I scream in agony. You know, true friends.
True friends all the way. But yeah, San Francisco was pretty fun. It was a very nice contrast, like with the weather between there and Sacramento, because in Sacramento it was like 90 all the time.
Yeah.
So that was not fun. But San Francisco was pretty nice. I enjoyed that. We stayed with my host's grandparents, and they're very nice people.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very nice time. I'd go back.
Cool.
So yeah, that's my California trip in a nutshell. And then I got a job at Festival just recently.
Yeah. What made you go back there? You were working there before, right? No, you were
No.
at Subway.
Yes, I was at Subway when we were first hanging out, and you were at Festival.
Okay. Yeah, that's the mix-up.
I had started out actually at Woodman's. They gave me a pretty good schedule where I would have 4 days a week, or 4 days a month, and then I would go in there from like 10 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning, and just like push carts around and throw away trash and stuff. And it was pretty good. It was a pretty good job, but I thought I can't just, work here only. So I'm going to go to Festival, and they gave me like so many better benefits that I could have, but I would have to quit Woodman's. So I ended up quitting Woodman's and going to Festival just so I could have better benefits.
Yeah, sure.
Excuse me. So now I'm working in produce as a stocker.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, produce is pretty cool.
Yeah, did you ever work in produce?
Nah. I had like 1 day's worth of experience in produce at festivals, actually. And I actually liked it a lot, especially the people that worked with me back there. Never went back. Never mustered up the self-confidence within my young teenage self to spread my wings and flee from the front end.
Or maybe you just didn't like the heavy lifting at the time.
I actually, well, considering I took a job at UPS like 2 years later, I don't think that was a problem.
No, that's probably a lot worse than apples.
Oh, God, for sure. Those conveyor belts they still show up in my nightmares sometimes.
Imagine that, a job where it gives you nightmares like 2 years after you work there.
Nah, UPS was fine. Just, I'm not personally cut out to do that forever. It was a good summer job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm liking it a lot. And you probably saw in my story that I'm doing a TV show now, right?
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit too. That yes, Chris has a television show that you all should check out sometime, either on his YouTube channel, which will feature the replays, or you can watch it live on your television on
Channel 993. It's a local station, so you have to be in the Eau Claire area to get it. So probably on YouTube.
Considering most of our what's left of this podcast base is probably based in Eau Claire, I think it's safe to say you could probably take the television option.
Probably, yeah. So yes, check out Classics by Candlelight on either or. Shameless self-plug over.
Yeah.
Cool. You've been working on anything for your YouTube channel?
It's funny you should ask that, because I actually have been thinking about getting into making videos again when I find time.
Good.
My dad has actually been getting into it himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been asking for my advice on like how to record a video, some of the more technical sides of editing and filming. He already has a bit of a background in that because he did photography for a few years on the side. But
Well, that's cool.
yeah, he told me about how he used to actually develop photos in a black room and stuff with the dim red lights and all that. Anyways, yeah, so he's been getting on making stuff. He's making his own podcast about like electric vehicles and stuff like that.
Neat.
I, on the other hand, have just been thinking about doing things like once a day or once a week to slowly build skills at it. And this is just more of a general thing too. Like, I bought a sketchbook a few months back, and every few days I'll just go and draw whatever in there. And most of it's garbage, a lot of it's abstract, but I am slowly getting better at drawing.
Fantastic.
So that's kind of the point. I had a similar idea of like for YouTube, if I could make one video a week. Some could be better edited, others could just be shit that I filmed in 5 minutes and then plopped onto YouTube. Either way, it would keep me, making stuff, doing something in my time.
Yeah.
So.
Have you, are you considering doing it on your, like, name channel or Third Floor North?
I have been thinking about that. The Third Floor North channel has not seen a lot of love lately, and it's just kind of sitting there. So I think I might just take it over there. But we'll see. I mean, I'm also not doing anything with my personal channel, and I upload whatever the fuck on there, so yeah, we'll find out.
True story, when we had our original cafe channel, Nick actually made 2 videos for that, which when the channel unfortunately stopped and we moved our production over to here, he took those down and put them on his channel. So go over to Nick's channel, I'll link it in the description, and watch Helophobia and Unaggravated Assault. Very funny videos.
Yeah, I remembered Heliophobia, but I forgot the second one. I was like, which one was that again? The fucking second one's really dumb. The first one's also kind of stupid, but I put a bit more effort into that one.
That one I kind of thought was very artistic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it.
So yeah, anything else major happening in your life right now?
Dropped out of college. I don't think I
Really?
told you that officially. Yeah, at first it was just going to be a gap semester with this, job at the news station.
Yeah.
I am now deciding to drop out. Might go back in a few years to finish out the degree, because I only had like a year and a half left of classes to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, I don't know. I'm liking just working more. It's a lot more fulfilling than school work. I am more consistent and better at it. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I think I'm finding my groove. So.
Me too. I'm taking a gap year as well, and I found that just over this summer I've gotten so much more work done, than any other year. So.
Yeah, it's honestly a freer time when you don't have just these expectations of. I mean, I also did like the drive of, being forced to write scripts, forced to analyze movies, or, someone was going to watch my film, so I felt a little more oomph, to make it.
Right.
At the same time, there was just so much other bullshit that I didn't care for as much. Like a lot of the general classes that I appreciate a good amount of them, but also don't need. So,
Right.
yeah. Anyways, enough about my ranting on education.
I'm sure we could dedicate like a whole section just to ranting about education, but now we are going to introduce our very first new segment on this show.
What?
Since we started.
Organization?
Yeah, I actually planned this episode out ahead of time this time.
Wow, we should try this more often. Wow. What's our next segment?
Our next segment comes from an idea that spawned a long time ago when I had my own radio program. It's called Deep Thoughts. And we're just going to go through and give out the most stupid, idiotic things we can think of and make them sound like, you know, Socrates wrote them or something.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So
Have
do you
ever
want
thought about the way a paperclip bends?
the way a paperclip bends?
Yes.
It's beautiful,
It bends
isn't it?
once, twice, 3 times. In such a delicate, small amount of bending of this string of metal, we can connect a whole world of information together. So much power in just 3 bends. Really think about that.
And if you take another paperclip and tie them together, you can get even more bends.
6 bends. That's stronger than 3.
6 bends can change the entire world. And imagine...
Now apply this to your daily life. You're walking around. You see so much disaster on the street as you walk down. There's a homeless guy panning for money. There's a couple fighting on the street next to you. There's this really loud and obnoxious driver just zooming down the road for whatever fucking reason, even though it's like a 35-mile-per-hour zone. But if you just bend your route 6 times, left or right, it does not matter, you can enter a whole new world. A whole new society that you had not been privy to before. Truly, paperclips can tell us the way that one should live their life. Which is why I think that you should buy my new pamphlet, Clipping Your World Together, for 99 cents off of WhatsApp. My literature will show you the way, the truth, and the bend.
Truly words to live by.
Yes. I really like this segment. This is my kind of segment, I'm gonna be honest.
I have a deep thought as well.
Alright, go ahead.
If white people take brown shits, do brown people take white shits?
No, I think that's birds that you're thinking about. Unless we are all descended from the bird, and somewhere along the way, a mutation in white people changed the shit from white to brown.
My God, I think you figured it out. I think you figured out the missing key to life itself.
I found the missing link. This is it. We just need to go back and find which species of human started shitting brown. And then we can learn how to sprout our wings again and fly with the birds. No more need for these giant metal-ass contraptions just hulking their way across the blue. No. We will freely flow our hair through the winds of the valleys and skies, mountaintops and plains. Nothing will hold us back except for our own, brown shit.
This is amazing.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful, Nick. I'm crying right now.
God damn. I really went there, huh?
Yes, you did.
Wow. All right.
And now, dear viewers, it is time to turn our attention to music. The musical moment.
What's this moment about?
Music we've listened to recently that we think
Oh.
is just like good, bad, whatever.
Okay. Then I guess an easy one that I can pop off is that recently this weekend I got really into this band called Foreign Talks. They're a small band that's based out of Portland, Oregon, but they have a lot of interesting music. If you listen to their first album when they're all in high school, it's mostly pop music and romance stuff, and some of it's good. But if you listen to the shit that they made just 2 years later, it's so much more interesting. It's like reggae and rock and some of the pop stuff they did before.
Ooh.
And it's all just like really weird blend that comes together into an interesting vibe that I really like listening to. Also, if you look at photos of them when they were in high school compared to, graduation a few years later, they look completely fucking different. And I am just fascinated looking at pictures of them between these two phases of life. Like they are really different. Anyways, so that's my musical moment.
My most recent musical moment, and what was it? What were they called again? I want to look them up.
Foreign Talks.
Like foreign, like foreigner.
Yep.
T-O-X.
No, talks, as in like they talk.
Oh, okay.
They converse like we are.
All right, Foreign Talks. I'm going to look that up. Recently I've been listening to like a lot more garage band music.
Ah.
One big one, you might remember this a little bit from when you were at Memorial, Corporate Death Party.
Corporate Death Party.
Okay,
Can't say I'm familiar with that.
That was a school band. Sorry about that, folks. My mic accidentally hit the mouse, so if it cut out there, that's why.
I love that you just made a heavy cough to introduce everyone back in. Like, they're going to be listening. And it's going to be you talking about this garage band, then, sorry, everyone. I had a problem there.
So, yes, I was talking about garage bands. I was talking about Corporate Death Party. They actually have an album on Apple Music. Go check that out. It's called The Crack Sessions. And CDP, anybody who is watching this, because I am personal friends with a few of the band members, great job, you guys. You guys are doing really well with your music. I really like your music. I actually went and saw them in concerts at Garage Fest a few weeks ago. And I was really sad that I couldn't stay for like the rest of the performances. I had some other stuff to do, but like their performance was really good. I enjoyed you guys a lot if you're listening. So yeah, they just are basically a sort of grungy band, and it's sort of alternative. They do like covers. They also do some originals, and a lot of it is like monkey related humor. One of their more popular tracks that they play a lot is Monkeys in My Walls. That's like the opening track for the album as well. And like if you listen to that track and you don't like it, you're not going to like their music. But if you like that track, listen, it's really good. They're also on SoundCloud, so I would definitely watch that or listen to that because that's really good.
Yeah, there you go.
So
check that out too. Corporate Death Party. I'm gonna check it out.
All right. So that is my musical moment for this episode.
All right.
And now, dear listeners, it is time for our next new segment. Great moments in film.
Ooh.
And this obviously is very near and dear to our hearts because Nick is, of course, a student of film. And or he was until he dropped out. And I, in a sense, am a student of film in that I watch a lot of movies and don't move from my couch ever. So, yeah, that's our background in film. So this is just basically a segment where we go through, like, any movie we want, really. It doesn't have to be, like, new or anything. It could be any movie that we've seen, and just, like, a quick review / analysis of the film. And, yeah, I'll let you go first.
All right. Greatest moments in film. Oh, duh. I watched Suicide Squad last night. The new one.
Seriously, I just did too.
Yeah.
All right, we can combine our topics, I guess.
Okay. Well, should we do like a spoiler warning or?
Yes, I think we should. Spoiler.
Yeah. If Chris is not lazy, then he will edit a time code on the screen to when it's safe for you to skip to or whatever.
Yes.
But if he's not, then just cover your ears, close your eyes, and hope that you don't hear anything.
All right.
So, Suicide Squad.
Initial thoughts. Like,
that opening scene took me by surprise for a bit.
Oh my god, what I really loved about it was the characters that were killed off in the first, 5 minutes or so were the characters that were mostly being pushed in the beginning of advertising.
Yeah, so, they really just did a bait and switch on us. You know?
Yeah.
God damn.
I was, sitting there in the theater and just going, what the hell is going on? I have no idea what's happening right now, but I love it.
Yeah, when the guy was throwing his ball in the first scene, I was like, ooh, this is going to be a really impressive, guy later, and he, kills the bird, and then he, didn't throw the ball at all during that scene. It's like, what the fuck was the point of that opening scene? And then that same type of bird lands on his dead corpse and starts eating him, and I'm like, okay, I think this is going to be a good one.
That was fucking amazing.
It was a callback to that scene in a way I did not expect at all. And it really just set the tone for everything else. The scene by scene titles or whatever, those were always super impressive. Just the graphics on that, really cool.
Yeah. Keep going.
And I think the moment that I liked the most cinematically was that brief 20-second segment where you're just watching the fight between Peacemaker and Flag through Peacemaker's helmet on the ground.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
That was held out longer than I thought it would, but it was really cool the whole time.
Yeah, it was very symbolic of what people will do for peace and how they see it in their mind as actually helping, but it's not. Yeah. It's not helping.
Peacemaker in general is a type of character that I've been really fascinated in. I'm making a character like him for one of my stories.
Cool.
But yeah, so I definitely liked his arc the whole time.
Did you see the post-credit scene?
No. Unfortunately, it was 1 a.m, and I had to bike back. So I just left.
Did you see the one where Weasel got up?
Yes, I saw where Weasel got up.
Okay. I'm really happy about that because he was so underutilized.
Oh, for sure. And just frolics happily into the night. Off to kill more children.
That thing is just awesome. I love that thing.
Fucking yeah.
But the second end credit scene is where Peacemaker is actually still alive.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So they gave him a name. I don't remember what the name is. But like the people who were knocking out Viola Davis's character, like they had gone back and saved him.
Oh.
So that's going to be interesting for like a potential sequel.
Future, yeah.
So
That actually makes more sense because I heard that they were making a Peacemaker television series to go along with it.
I actually heard that too.
Yeah, and I was curious about how they were. Was it going to be like a prequel or? No, it turns out it's just still alive then. Okay.
Yeah. I'm really impressed how they made Rick Flag memorable in this one.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen very much of the last one, but from what I have seen, I don't remember a single goddamn thing that Peacemaker did. Or Rick Flag did.
He had his wife as the witch thingy, but other than that, I don't really remember anything either.
He was just sort of a generic soldier.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm really impressed how they did that. And I would like to take a brief moment to talk about the violence in that movie.
Oh, yeah. How did we skip over that?
Like, Jesus Christ! I don't think I've ever seen a more violent movie in my life.
We literally saw the shard get stabbed into Flag's heart. I have not seen that before in any type of media, and that was just really hardcore.
Like, they pulled no punches, you know?
For sure.
So, I'm really impressed by that. James Gunn, obviously, is a great director. I love his works. Guardians of the Galaxy is awesome. But I think this is really sticking it to Disney and how, like, family-friendly they are.
Yeah, and really letting his ability shine in a movie that just doesn't hold back.
The only real complaint I had was that I think they could have gotten rid of Harley Quinn.
Same. Yeah.
Like, I know they never would because she's too much of a cash cow, but
and the most recognizable face there for any casual audience.
But like, I think that if they would have made that decision, it would have been like just a lot more adult, you know, than it already was. Like, they weren't trying to bait the masses into coming, you know?
Well, I mean, kind of what they were already doing.
I mean, I know that's what they were doing, but like, I just think it would have been a lot ballsier, you know, of them to do that. And it would have been a lot more interesting. I did like her in this movie. It was a very good story arc that she had, but I think all in all that she just wasn't like the most needed character, and it was just kind of a detour.
Well, I mean,
but I am still glad that she was in it.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't the main character, but they did spend. If it wasn't on Peacemaker or fucking the other assassin, I forgot his name.
It was something like Dead Blood or something.
Deadshot something? No,
I think Deadshot is Marvel.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Anyways. Our not known comic book logic aside.
Yeah, that's our thoughts on Suicide Squad, I guess.
Yeah.
You want to like wrap this up with a ranking or a rating, whatever?
Personally, I would give it about 7.5 to 8 stars. I really enjoyed it, but just like the Harley Quinn thing and just a few other smaller things kind of took me out of it, but I still really enjoyed it, and I actually went home and watched it again on HBO Max like right after the theater screening. So
yeah, I think I agree with it. I'll place it at a solid 8. Just kind of leave it there. There's a lot of visually impressive stuff. The humor, you know, James Gunn humor was nice. The characters were all memorable in their own ways, and yeah, I think they gave everyone good time to shine, except for all the ones that died right at the start. But, who fucking cares about them? They're dead now.
I think that's really what they wanted to do. Like, just make you have a strong connection with these characters right away in the plane ride, and then they just die right away, and nobody sees it coming. So anyway, that was the great moments in film section of the podcast, and now we're going to go back to a popular section of the podcast that we've had before, but it's going to be shorter this time. We're not dedicating like a whole podcast episode to it. This is News Break.
Oh, the current events.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I only have 2 stories to talk about today, so it's probably just going to be pretty quick.
Yeah. I might just let you take up the whole time.
All right. So the first story is that the other day, like, Congress said that we are in a code red for humanity in terms of climate change.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of scary because, how many more years do we have left to fix it? Probably not many. And it doesn't seem like anyone's doing anything to fix it already.
It's not that no one's doing anything to fix it. It's that the changes needed to fix it need to take so much time anyways, and like full commitment, it would still take a good amount of time to make that shift over.
Right.
So, there's so many industries that are perpetuating these bad practices, which is, unethical. But it would be equally as unethical to just ban all of that, try to go to only good energy sources, and then leave all these people without jobs, and also, quite frankly, make that harsh of a transition for everyone else. Like, it's that factor of time that's really been fucking us over, and I'm hoping that now that we are in code red, that we fucking get the message of like, now is the time. But
exactly,
we can't wait. Like, we can't wait. That's the end of the sentence.
Basically, yeah. And that kind of concludes it for my first story. The second story is a bit funnier, actually, and it's like good news for the world. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, resigned yesterday.
Yay! Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Fucking asshole.
It was so uncomfortable watching him deny it again and again on the news, and everyone just saying, please resign. We don't want to have to go through the process of impeaching you.
Even Biden.
It would just be so much easier.
Even Biden said resign, and I guess you listened because he's gone now.
Yeah.
But one of the weirder stipulations, which I don't really understand, is that it's not in effect for another 14 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like putting in a 2 weeks notice.
Basically.
I assume that, especially on a political level, you'd want to have that time to make sure the power readjustment happens okay. The transfer of power to the new governor and all that. But still,
at the same time,
I feel like they can do it in faster than 2 weeks, especially with everyone telling him to resign. Like, everyone was prepared for this.
And I know this is like, state government versus the president, but like when Richard Nixon resigned, they got on that like immediately.
Yeah, okay. You definitely need to replace a president. That's an immediate thing. A governor, that's also important, but you can take a little more time on that. I can see it.
Yeah, but 2 weeks just seems like a little much.
Fair.
So,
I'd go with only 3-4 days a week maximum.
That's kind of what
I feel
I'm
like
thinking.
That's enough time. I feel like to get all your shit settled and whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never worked in politics, evidently, so maybe I'm just speaking out of my ass here.
But yeah, that's basically like it for that section of the podcasts there. You know, I'm trying to move that down a notch because I feel like we got a little bit too political.
Yeah,
in the
that's fair.
past,
I
so-
I definitely agree. I think 5 to 10 minutes is an okay time
Yeah.
to spend on it.
Especially-
push it a little further if there's something really big, but yeah.
Oh yeah, especially since it's like, you know, every time you turn on the TV, you see that. And now that you're a broadcasting director, you see that a lot more, I'm sure.
Yeah. Thankfully, ABC News, or at least local news, most local news is not opinion based and more driven on facts.
Unless you're on Fox,
But-
of course.
Yeah, duh. Fox is always going to be, God, I hate Fox.
I fucking hate Fox.
God.
I'm so
We can
glad.
get into that later, though.
I might just do a segment next time called Why We Hate
Called
Fox.
Fuck Fox.
But anyway, that pretty much does it for our big segments. I was going to dedicate just a quick segment to like our upcoming plans,
Oh, yeah.
like because that's something that we always talked about when we stalled for time, and I like that segment, but we can't do the whole show on it. So
Yeah, I think we kind of already mentioned some of those things, or at least I did. So to recap for myself, I am planning to try getting into making YouTube videos again. And I am also planning on working on this graphic novel and having it released by May, or at least, ready to release by May of 2022. So
fantastic! I'll be excited to read it.
yeah, I am too. Right with you there, man. I'm still writing it, but I'm really excited to read it someday.
As for my upcoming plans, I'm still working. I'm still working on my show. On the C.A.F.E channel, I uploaded a sketch a few days ago, which I decided to start up turning into a pilot for an actual series.
Whoa.
Excuse me. So that's very exciting. I've been working on that a lot. I've decided to, switch things around and start calling my actual shows on here C.A.F.E Originals to make it a little bit more, professional. And not me just screaming in front of the camera while I make sugar tacos.
That would be very good. Yes.
So yeah, and I'm also still working on the movie, The Quest for Things. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely still on the table. But otherwise, like, those are sort of my big picture plans. For my little plans, not much. Just work, I guess.
Okay.
So
Yeah. All right. Sounds good then.
yeah,
Yeah, it was nice catching up with you.
it was good catching up with you too. And it was nice to be back on this podcast because we haven't done it in
Yes.
so long. And I'm hoping,
3 idiots in a room.
And-
Where's the third idiot? We're still looking.
in fact, it has been over a full year since we did our first episode.
That's right. Yeah, because we started in
We started in July last year.
something. Yeah.
So this is, over a year later, and we're finally getting into a groove. A year and 15 episodes later.
All good things take time, man. All
Yes.
good things take time.
So yeah, this has been the first real episode of 3 Idiots in a Room podcast. I am working on something to get this on Apple Podcasts soon.
That'd
So-
be nice. Yeah.
So I hope that all works out for this, because that would probably get a much better response from the public. But in the meantime, thank you guys for listening. I, as always, am one of your co-hosts, Chris Jahnke, and with me,
Is first last Nameson.
yes, first last Nameson, as always. And
Yep.
this has been the 3 Idiots in a Room, and we will see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye bye.